So we got our girl Shimo, and we need to bake her. So first thing I needed to actually change was when we bake. We want a TIFF file. We need to always want a TIFF. Second is we actually need to change the high poly that we're baking from. So what we'll do, turn this off. It's the body. Where's the high poly? Is that data transfer? There we go. That's not it. That's not it either. So it's not either of these. This is the multi-res with the mirror. So this is a very detailed version. And it's the low poly version too. Okay, gotcha. So what we need to do is mirror this. Well, not the whole thing though. Okay, we need to separate this out to a high poly one. So duplicate, body, high poly. All right, so here's our high poly version. We're going to do viewport level 3 and then apply this multi-res. Then we're going to select this boundary loop. Should be just the middle. It's that right now. Okay. Should be just the middle. What I want to do is grow that selection a decent amount. And then duplicate it. Separate it. Flip the normals. Then we're actually going to recombine it, funnily enough. Add in a weld modifier. Set the weld to, we don't have the vertex group. So what we would want to do is select both, select boundary loop, deselect this outer shell, or actually, right, we'll try this again. Delete this, select everything, boundary loop, make the group, which we'll call weld. Assign that. Close chat, 1 second. All right, so we assigned that group to weld, and then we'll grow that selection quite a few times. All right, now that we've done that, we duplicate it. And then do 0.6 sx -1. flip it to the other side, flip the normals. All right, so now we have half the character. The breast. We'll get rid of that. Okay. Hopefully this will help. So now we export this to baked version. We're going to replace the high poly. Okay, back to here. Go to our asset and say re-import our high poly. That's what it's doing right now. Ah, I take that back. One more thing. I should have included this and these in the high poly. There we go. Okay. High poly. There we go. Back to Instamat. And re-import one more time. You can see the progress down here. When you're working in Instamat, you really do need your console visible. It's pretty hard to tell when things are happening otherwise. All right, now we can bake. All right, so now we've baked. Save that, we get a little bit of clipping right there with our standard setup. But now we can open up the painter version. And moment of truth. Do we get the seam in the middle? We still do. Still do. It is a bummer. You know, now that I think about it though, this might be an artifact of just let's see. If I go to this setting here and we remove the mesh tangent, we do lose that line. So it is the texture. And also looks okay. Well, we'll do something else just for a little bit. I'm going to add some darker, some shading to the skin here. Call this skin shadowing. And we'll add a mesh mask builder to it in order to use the ambient occlusion in a nice way. And we can blur without banding because we baked it as a TIFF file. Very important. Important. It's a little blue. I think that's okay because she does kind of have a blue hue. A little bit like that. Maybe a little less saturation. And then we'll also add on top of this, or no, I can actually go into the builder and we have this direction option, which is very cool. And we can use the bottom and give it just a slight shadowing to the bottom, the character, and the, say, left and right, say 0.2 and 0.2. Okay. So what this does just gives it a very subtle difference. I say 0. What's that? Cool. Okay, but that just helps pull out the form of the character quite a bit. We're getting something here. It must be this. Sort of. Yes and no. Must be low sample count on our ambient occlusion. Yeah. Bam. Then some booba. Good morning. Hello, Wendy. Welcome. Yes, we got some booba going. Yes, indeed. Hello. Hope you're having a good day. It's not the blur. So that must be the direction then. Interesting. I feel like that should be a little bit better. A little bit higher quality. I'm actually going to turn this off. And we'll, yeah, something else. Why does it look like that? Strange. I see this jagged look there. But that's not it. It's not the direction. Then it must be the ambient occlusion. Sort of. Yeah, no, it has to be. Okay, definitely the ambient occlusion. Gotcha. Good morning, Arctic. Hello. Yeah, there we go. We get a little bit of blur there. It goes away. Good. All right. Now I'd also like to create oh, it's probably because I was pushing the balance. Yeah, okay. That's really what it was. It looks a little blue. Sliding. Kind of cool though. So I want to get a nice little outline around the skin here, around the where the scales are. Help pop it just a little bit. So to do that, we need a graph. So we're going to make one. Element graph. We'll do without template. And I guess we'll make it a mask. So we'll call this mask scale edge. Just scales for now. And we can drag in our baker because it has an ID map that we would like to extract from. And if we click the ID map right there, we can actually... Happy affiliate anniversary. Thank you, Wendy. I appreciate that. It's kind of cool. It's cool to have reached this point. I need to get... we need one more. Oh, whatever. We'll do it right now. So blur. Just a very slight blur. And then a auto level. Sharpen it back up. That just gets rid of any sort of filigree that exists here, and then we can make an output element image gray, which we'll call mask, and we can drop that right here. All right, so that's what we want. Because now I go back to Painter. Milestones, indeed, indeed. And so we have the shadowing. I think we'll put it below the scales. For now. Make a new layer, put it above, give it a layer, add in the projected mask set to UV, and then replace this with the mask we made. There. Which it looks like we need to invert. That's cool. It also got these ones. Perfect. Cool. Do the inversion here. Loading, 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 loading. Cool. And now we've got this nice little edge along these scales. Very nice. In fact, I'd like a little bit more control, I think, to push it out further. Go back to the mask. We will expand the blur options, add an input, which will be a float, call blur. Drag that right here and drop that into intensity. So now, when we're looking at this mask, we actually have this blur option right here. We'll do 0.5. That is way too intense. Let's do 0.3. That looks quite a bit different than like I didn't see this before. We have a mesh blur. Darn. Oh, it doesn't look bad. Looks quite good, actually. And then we could actually go in and kind of adjust some other aspects of it, such as our there we go. Our roughness we could turn down. We could even push, let's up the height. When you push it up, looks quite good though. Ambient occlusion, we could make it a little darker. Just a little, not super strong. I feel like that helps pop the scales a lot. The color though, definitely needs to change. Let's take down the saturation. And the value will also push up, I think. Make it a little bit more subtle. All right, good stuff. Okay, now what? Now what we'd like to do is go into our scales themselves. And I'd like to pop out the groove as a color. Which is still very blue. It's not good. Here. How do I fix that? And the thigh too. That's just a better cage. Better cage, better results. Okay. I finished that Minecraft skin. I should share that. Yeah, please do. I'd love to check it out. Is there a hotkey to make this? So I think we'll make one more graph. Let's see, actually. Do I have mask? I do mask builder. Do they have a normal? They don't have a normal direction though, so okay. We will make another graph. We'll call mask scale grooves. It is in ArtShare. Let's take a look. Oh, that's awesome. That's really cool. Is it actually like picking up the, is it actually like a metallic texture or did you just paint the highlights in there? It's super cool though. It's very small. Now that I'm really looking at it, all painted. Okay, gotcha. Very tiny. Teeny tiny. Dragon. Face. I think I want to invert this first. Let's see how that looks. Pixel art on a model is fun, very constraining. There's a challenge, online social media challenge I've seen pop up a few times, and I think it's called 64, 64, 64, and it's like you have to make a model of 64 verts with a texture of 64 pixels, something like that. It's a fun, seems like a fun little challenge. I'll have to try it sometime. But constraints are good. Constraints are good. Okay, we're getting a little bit of it there. Very subtle, but it is there. So I think we need to be able to control that a little bit more. So we take in the normal channel, we feed it into an invert. Yes, we need a levels. It's a little hard to see. Really just want the grooves though. What we can do as well is take out the mesh ID, do an ID mask. And a blend. Take this here, this here, and say multiply. Keep that in. And invert it here, yeah. Just getting rid of that empty space. I don't think it's changing anything in here. Oh, I think that might be right then. Let's just see what that looks like. And that is pretty good, actually. Still picking up a little bit of stuff. Might have to paint that out a little. But I think with just a little bit of blur, it'll look quite good. What's going on? Oh, I muted it. I always forget I can do that. Okay, so then for this channel, what we'll do first is just take everything out, take the roughness, and we're going to push that down, like them to be a little bit sharper in the grooves. Push up some ambient occlusion a little. Then we will make this kind of dark. Not super dark, but just enough to kind of pop a little. Nice. Interesting. I don't really see that edge in the middle anymore. It shows up in a few spots, but it's very minor now. I wonder if that'll show up in Unity at all. Okay, well, we definitely need to make a cage for our bake, because that's definitely the worst part of it. Smooth out the butt a little. Overall, though, looking pretty cool. Looking very cool. Okay. Let's set up the Unity side of things. Loading, loading, loading. All right. So I'll take this, go back to Blender really quick, turn off the high poly, go to the low poly, set this one to 0. So we get rid of the multi-res at this point. Turn on a mirror mod. And then just the body for now. Export this to the spot here. We'll call it Shimo. That's the Painter V2. Export, save. Take the avatar, drop it here. Awesome. Looking pretty good. Cool. Hello, Brittany Nation. Welcome. Thank you. I appreciate that. We're moving up in the world. Affiliate Day. The anniversary. Following this channel for like actual years, I just never watch. Well, no worries at all. Certainly appreciate you coming by. We're working on a thick dragon girl Shimo right now. We're going to be making her textures. Yeah. I purge my following list to keep this one there, like a good luck charm. Good. And go ahead and go to Instamat as well. File. Export images to here. Select that following. It should be good. I don't have a mask. That should be good. One thing every emo goth EGF needs is that one haircut. Like, if you know, then you know. But the blue hair. Ugh. That's the only thing I could think of. We're getting a little edge there. Why are we getting a seam on the... Interesting. Must have done something. I didn't notice that, though. In fact, yeah, I don't see it here at all. Okay, so that must be the export settings. Dilation. Yeah, that would do it. 10. Let's see. 0.1. Diffusion. Sure, I didn't say what. Export. The bone straight hair with the bang. I need to make some better hair for some of my characters. I made a whole little system to generate hair. Cool. That looks good. Trying to see Red Bull get flashbacks to that one girl who pumps like 5 different syrups into a glass for her 2 cans of Red Bull. Yeah, I try not to give myself the diabetes here. So we're doing the sugar-free ones. Diabetes. Cool. Now we got some lighting on the character. She's looking pretty good so far. I think now we just need some reflections. Cool. Just coming together. I feel like I could make her a little bit paler, but the tough part about making a character that's pure white is just get lost in the glare. I think we'll do a matte cap for the scales. Need to clean up the neck too. All right, overall pretty good. Let's do our main set of tweaks to the shader, or rim lights. Excuse me. Something right about there. A little bit sharper. Then we'll do the next rim light, which will invert. And turn into a highlight. All right, looking pretty good already. That helps pop out the whole form. Character. And we are still getting that split in the middle. Bummer. Right on the nose. We do not want that. Not quite sure how I'm going to fix that, though. All right. We do a little bit more to change their butt shape a little. Not round, as round as it should be. All right. Back to Blendor. Maybe we can find she had like $900 of James Avery charms on her wrist. James Avery. Avery? Avery. Probably Avery. Okay. So for the body, we'd like to include a few other pieces. The nails, with claws, really. Just these two. This is the baking version. We've lost the lower one here. All right, crease that. Got this. Also crease. Put that here. It's like a jewelry store a lot of girls wanting to be trendy go to. That's how you go to Starbucks to be seen with the cut. It's charged like $60 for a silver chain, then $80 per metal chain. Went to California the other weekend, see some family, and it was insane the prices they were on some of the tourist items. It's like you can't be serious. It's like there was a wine glass, and it said something like, "I'm a wine mom" or something like that, and it was like $50 for one glass. Oh, what a waste of money. And it's nuts. You can find the same glass online for like $3. Call this body non. It looks pretty close to correct. Okay. Then take those, deselect these, deselect those, send these to body non-bake. Oh, but I want to select them all again and say make single user. Okay. Then hide those. Nope. One more time. All transforms. That way they don't move. Then I can hide them. Then I can move these forward. All right, I can be confident that those are going to bake well. Nice. Hello, bro. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Then we'll do the eyebrows. Oh yeah, and then we'll also make the high poly version. Duplicate, send to high poly. And in here, these, add a subdivision to and just turn it out. There we go. Perfect. How's your day going, bro? Bro. I'll be right back. I have to go to the restroom. Be right back. Hello, I'm back. I'm back. Okay. So what we need to do next is take our eyelashes. Oh, thank you, Wendy. Take these. We're going to make sure they're in the right position. We're going to move them up here, duplicate them, and send the duplicates to high poly. And in the high poly, this version, we will add subdivision. Some of them might already have one. This one does. We'll take the subdivision. And turn it up to something like that. Should be making more of a difference. 5 subdivisions. You know what it is? It's this. All right, that looks good. Commissioner backed out today. Oh, a normal occurrence for most, but it's unfortunate timing. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry to hear that. Time to hunt them down and kill them. That's a joke. Actually, I can leave it on here. It's the low poly that watch out for. Hello, Diggy. Welcome. Hello. Nice tatas. Tatas. Do the mouth. We should have the gums in here now. We make sure they're at 0, and then move them up. Something to that effect. Cool, that looks cool. See my DM. Take a look. I haven't looked at the models yet. Oh, but you got the pay date? Perfect. Then I'll get an invoice over to you today. I just repeated what I it's typed what I said, but funny. And then here we want the high poly versions in here. And these ones are kind of low poly. Good. Good, I think that all looks pretty good. Save that, go to the high poly version. Did this not get sent to? Ah, and then these ones have to get sent to the body. And we'll delete this collection. Body off, high poly on. Would it be better to add scaly skin to the dragon? I'll be doing like a repeating texture to make that happen. We're going to use Koyomi's tiling feature. It's the high poly here. I'm going to turn off the ability to select. Go to body. And what we'll do is duplicate body, call this one page. What details you add to the invoice? My PayPal got banned. You can always make a new one. I think you can pay with whatever. So it should be fine. You might have to make a new account. Let's make a new collection called body page. And we'll put that right there. In fact, I'm going to put all the body ones right next to it. I'll ask a friend to pay though. I'm just curious. I have Wise. Okay. Yeah, we'll have to figure it out. I'm not sure what's best right now. At this moment. Right. And then actually turn on body one more time. I have this, and I want to select body and do object link object data. That way, when I add the displace modifier to this one, I can add displace. Funny. Why not the middle? Interesting. I didn't have a vertex group. Oh well. Set the strength to 0.25. Turn on the high poly again. And we're going to go in and make sure our weight painting is looking good. Something like this. Basically just want to cover up the character in blue. Send an email when ready. Sounds good. Sounds good. Yeah, I'll have to follow up during lunch. But I'm excited. It's a fun haircut. Fun hairstyle to make. Should I be triangulating? I probably should. We want the cage to be just barely above everything. As close as we can get. There's got to be an algorithm for this that would be better. I guess shrink wrap is pretty close. No, I can make a geonodes. I could do that. Because you can only use shrink wrap on one object, but with geonodes you could make one that could take a collection. You usually use shrink wrap wool There are definitely some challenges, but if you just had it only move instead of like, if it only scaled on the normals one direction, that'd be pretty good. Anyway, it's probably a good fix there somewhere. Well, we'll think about it more. Looking good though. You probably turn the strength up just a little. But using an instanced duplicate, also very good. I've been enjoying that because that saves me a bunch of time. That way you don't have to worry about losing your correct UV maps and stuff like that. Bet you can't access shape key data in geometry nodes. That'd be really cool. Surprised you can't actually, because that could really just be baked down to position or just a direction, really. Seems like a relatively simple conversion. There we go. All right. So that's a good start. Actually, not quite done. Do need to get the eye socket here. And then the Cool. There we go. One issue we have, though, is that our mesh here does not have vertex groups. So we need to first add a armature. Then we need to select and go to send, which is the robust data transfer. Then we need to make it select the right thing. This one, like that one, data transfer v2, back to the body, and transfer the weights transfer. Then let's check if it worked. Awesome. We're just missing the empty groups, which we can add by doing that. Okay. The main reason we would like to do that is because we want to open them. Balls. Let's back up. I think I can do add that. We want to do that. I miss my mesh data transfer. It was so good. It was so good. It really just did the trick every time. The reason that didn't work is because the mirror mod. So if I apply this, sure, try that again. Okay. Should work. I may use a older version of Blender just so I could use that add-on. Because you can transfer the vertex groups by UV maps. Super useful. Um, Do I even need this one though? I don't, do I? I could just delete the body one. Go back here. Body. Actually, let me make sure. Are there any differences between them? I don't think there are. Yeah. So yeah, let's just delete. Let me make a backup. And we'll call this pre-posed bake. Delete the body. Rename this one to body. And move this into the body section. Now we've got this one. We can get rid of the multi-res. Just a little bit thinner. Means there were some differences in the sculpting. Let's go back. All right, well, I'm glad I made a backup. All right. Let me just check really quick. Mesh data transfer. Such a bummer. Such a bummer. All right, it's just the mouth that's going to be messed up. Annoying. Oh, funny. This one came out way better. What did I do differently? All right, just the eyeballs. Just the eye socket that's missing. Funny. I wonder what I did differently, because when I first did that, it totally did not get the mouth. All right, so the whole point for doing that was in order to take the cage, or take the rig, and do this. Um, high poly, it's definitely not going to do that. Rip. Ripperoni. Just want to be able to open up the mouth. In here. Weird. What's happening to my mesh? Glad I noticed that. Multiple selected here. Yes, there is. Was there a gap? Looks like it. Actually, no. Okay. Gotcha. Good. Okay. I actually set it up in a way that makes sense. Yeah. Just confusing myself. Okay, so we have the half that we want. What we can do now is add a multi-res, unsubdivide a few times. I think just three. Three times. Okay. Now that we have this, we have the multi-res and the weld. But what I can do is then copy the weights. So we transfer the weights over. Then I can add armature. Interesting that this one also huh. Wait, is that possible? And I take, because the multi-res is modifier specific. It's attached to the modifier. It's not attached to the mesh. So can I just relink this file to the body and then unlink it? If I just do object link object data. Okay. And then if we go back to the high poly, can I turn my multi-res back up again? No. Well, no, I can't. That would have been way too easy. All right. Worth trying. But I could potentially do this object link mesh data vertex groups by topology. Nope. No, I should just let's get rid of the groups except for the weld. Whatever. No, I can recreate the weld pretty easily. Delete all groups. Go to data transfer. Or this is like that. Then try that again, transfer weights. So close. Why did it work so well the other time? It's because I didn't have any modifiers on. Excuse me. Why would it loop up? It loops that way. Next time I want to make sure I close the mouth off the other way. Sorry. Hey there, Spixie. Welcome. How's your day going? It worked so well the other time. On the other face. Great, I've got a lot done today. Heck yeah. Must be the job. What is pulling that? So it could be this one. Yeah. There we go. Okay. So how does this line up with the... This is the multi-res. Ooh. Actually, you could also do... Then we get that, so we have to do a little less movement. All right, 11:20 already. Popsicle. Much on the popsicle. Okay. How's the multi-res work? Or look? All right. It's definitely the order we want. Multi-res after armature. And then what we want to check is the body. Actually, no, really the cage. Apparently also. Wait, no. It should have. It's just missing the armature. There we go. Hmm. Weird. Who am I white painting here? Let's see. All right. Good stuff. Probably could have done this in a more elegant fashion. Good enough. So, what I'd like to do now is pose the body again. We don't need the mouth fully open. We just need it open enough that we can bake the lips. Something like right there is pretty good. Oh wow, best viewers. God, you guys are the best. You on stream? Now I want a snack. How did I call stretch? Hello, Vara. Welcome. We're still working on Thick Girl here, Thick Dragon Girl. Getting close to done with her. Well, getting close to done with the baking setup. Ooh. A lot of work, though. A lot of work. Now I remember why I used a geonode. Because I have to incorporate all the other objects into the cage as well. All these different pieces that need their own cage, which is annoying. Be quick though. Oh, these got moved. I guess. I'll got moved together though. Ah, it's because they're rigged. Really gotta watch that. I guess they're all in the same spot, but still, not best practice. Excuse me. Good. All right. All these different steps. We still didn't fix the issue of the seam in the middle either. Is it poking through on so many spots now? Because it's not the sculpted version, that's why. Okay. Ooh. Now the body. We have the cage. What's missing? We're missing the small items that need to exist also in the cage, such as the claw. All of this stuff. All of these need to go to the cage. Actually, no, should not have. Should do Alt D. Alt D. Send to the cage. That way, if I ever tweak them, we've got them on both. But we need to go here, copy the displace, and then also matching indices. No. Object, link, transfer mesh data, vertex group. Just nearest vertex by name, just displace. I don't need any other ones. Good. All right. Then we can turn on high poly. Sure, we can't select it. Go into weight paint, go into gradients, and we'll just give it a bit of that. Maybe a little less, actually. These ones must have already had a group. Yeah. Cool. Means that we just want to make sure these normals are also flipped. So we got the high poly. We have the low poly. We have the cage. I'm hungry. The body's fine. So the difficult part is that for a lot of these, oh, I miss baking in Substance Painter. Gonna be honest, Instamat's a little bit of a pain to bake in. I'm glad I noticed the little artifacts we're having though. Fair. Let's go to show. Yeah, actually, I am going to steal my baking setup. So if I make a body all cage. Go to GeoNodes, make a new one. Body cage. Take in the collection. We can do relative. Perfect, already pretty good. Then what we're, Oh, I see. I put in the wrong collection. I grabbed the cage. I want to grab just the body. Then we can do displace. Now we can do translate, no, transform geometry. What we'd like to do, no, that's not quite it. Translate? Move. Isn't there an offset one? You operate at a much higher level than me when it comes to baking / UV work, lol. I just got tired of having to redo stuff all the time. Dread working on that stuff. Fair, fair. Is not it. Where's my move stuff? Why am I not remembering this? Set position, that's what I'm thinking of. There we go, set position, offset, normal. I think we have to realize instances here, perfect. And then we want to vector map. We want to do scale, or maybe even normalize. That doesn't matter, scale. Cool. Actually, no, we do want to normalize. Normalize. Cool. I think it might already be that. Whatever. And then we do the scale. And we want to scale by named attribute r displace. But we want to change that scale. We want to multiply it by 0.0125. Okay. Why do all that? Because I'm insane. They should pretty much be in the exact same position. All right. And so now, if I turn off the cage and we turn on the high poly, we can see that now we've created the same thing, but it's one collection. Sanity doesn't pay enough Silent Hill visuals for a bit. Cage collection. Okay. That makes it a lot simpler. So now, if I ever update the objects in my body, then they're all there. And in fact, I can go ahead and delete all these. Now we have the body. We put body cage in this collection so I can turn it on and off. Good stuff. So again, the reason for that is now I can move these things, move these items, change their UV maps, and I get it all for free in my cage. By getting non-destructive with it. Exactly. It's worth it. It's worth it. Ugh. Oh, yeah. That was a good one. What am I doing? I can't remember. We're exporting. So I want the body and the body cage to export in one go, all together. We do have it named correctly. Everything's set up correctly. I can go ahead and go FBX export into baked version. Or replacing the bake. Yep. And then we can turn these off. In fact, I'll include the body in here. So we can do it all in one go. Then we're replacing the body high poly. And lastly, I want the body without the cage, please. All right, save all that. Back to here. Take those meshes I just made, re-import them. This will take just a second. Ooh. All right, should be good now. I'm gonna up the ambient occlusion a little. The fall off is square. I don't know what that means. Blur kernel, say 1. Up this to 12. Odds are this crashes. Oh, it's loaded. Granted, the stream opens when I got back. I scared the fuck out of myself. Haven't seen this program before. Is it like Substance Painter? It's very, very similar, but it's free. There's some difficulties with it though that I'm learning to work through. I think that it's good. There's a lot of promise with it. It still has room to grow. Room to grow. Put it that way. This does not look like it was updated. That's because when I baked, I forgot to say use a cage. And if I'm using a cage, then I need to make sure this is 0. Bake. Based on Adobe at the very least, lol. Exactly. Exactly. That was my main motivation, honestly. But can 3D Coat do baking stuff? That's what I've heard. I have yet to really use 3D Coat. I'm not as familiar with it. I may do some research, look up some tutorials and stuff. Wow. That did not work. I wonder what went wrong. I do know that I forgot to turn on the multi-res. The high poly. And for the body and the cage, ooh, I don't think I had actually included it because I had that checked. Oh, and then we also have the mirror on the body. That one, okay, that should be good. Bake version, export. All right. I think WoW artists use it for a good chunk of time. That's the main reason I know of it. It's a pretty impressive tool. I've used it for some sculpting before, and it's pretty. I think that I would probably appreciate it a lot more now than I did that first time trying it. I re-import those again. Don't need current artists, but it's possible they still do. Hey, Sleepy Fred, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. We're doing some bacon stuff right now. Fingers, cross your fingers for me. Let's pray this bakes. Ah, it says no cage mesh was found. I'm naming it properly. Underscore cage. Should work. So this should be broken again. Yeah. Okay, it's not seeing the cage for some reason. This is the high poly, right? Or the baking version. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, I don't see the teeth or claws or anything, so I think that this project needs to be reset. All right, another 10 minutes, and then I'll be taking my break for the day for lunch, and then we'll be back after that for more. Okay, I don't think re-importing the mesh actually re-imported it for some reason. All right, let's try this again. Do, 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 do. Ukrainian dev team on 3D Code, they had links to how to surrender if you're a Russian soldier on their main site last time I checked. Well, that's amazing. Oof. Dang it. I messed up again. That's looking better though. So it looks like the mouth is closed on this one. You must not be exporting with the mouth open, but that looks really good. Look how clean that is. The parts that are actually coming together. All right. Very strong. That, not so much. It's like my UVs are messed up. Then, yeah, something's off here. Okay, so let's turn off cage because that doesn't matter. Everything that should be messing up would be in here. Interesting. The teeth, and these are clearly the teeth right here. Mirror you on, do it. Oh, you know what? That's what it was. I bet I had, yeah, I had mirror the UVs on the teeth enabled. Gotcha. All right. That's good. Figured that out. Then we need to know, so nothing else should be flipping its copy is selected. Nothing else should be flipping its mirror. Okay. Good. All right, let's try this one more time. Now the question is, if I update this file, I have to save this, close this. Refresh or re-import. Says it's re-importing there. All right, so save that. Then we go back to the baker. I'm saving. Now we're just hoping that this actually updated properly. And we bake again. I am tired of baking. Ooh. Mm. Mm. Hire, visit Ukraine.com, tourism sites, that kind of stuff right now. Just like information on how to donate and stuff. Pretty smart, all things considered, but surprised me. It's not the actual link, but well, it seems that Ukraine can also offer visiting parts of Russia too. Okay. Hmm. Interesting. So I have to close the whole fucking Instamat and reopen it in order for it to actually refresh the mesh? Oh my god. Let me just do it manually. Oh my god. Ukraine, the Russian tour coming soon. All right, one more time. And then I'm going to stop after this one because regardless of how it comes out. Should have adjusted the mouth position. Oh, whatever. Gotta turn down the resolution. Why is it still doing that? I definitely exported the updated version. It's not flipping the teeth anymore. Is it flipping the body? I don't even have the mirror on that one. So it can't be that. It has to be just that the packages aren't getting updated. Or, well, no, I mean, for it to line up like that, it has to be just a UV mismatch. That's the only way that happens. Ugh, I miss substance. All right. We're gonna call it here. We're gonna call it here. Thank you all for hanging out this morning. We're gonna take a break. I'm gonna go get my run in. I'll probably start streaming again a little bit earlier than I usually do. So I got to start streaming again a little bit sooner than my little shorter lunch than usual. But I will be ending the day a little bit earlier too. Thanks for streaming. Enjoy your workout. Thank you, Wendy. I will. Have a nice break. Thank you, Arctic. I appreciate that. Thank you, Peefster, for coming by. Avara. Anyone else that's lurking right there, right now. I'll see you all very, very soon. We'll be back. Probably switch up tasks a little bit. Work on a few other characters. Enjoy your day. See you soon. Bye.